John Ward Melville was born on January 5, 1887 in Brooklyn, New York. He graduated from Columbia University with a degree in Bachelor's of Arts and worked at his father's shoe business, Melville Corporation. In 1918, he married Dorothy Bigelow and had 4 children. For many years, Mr. Melville spent much of his time as a member of the Setauket School District Board and was heavily involved in restoring the Stony Brook community starting in 1944. Ward Melville's organization, the Stony Brook Community Fund, was instrumental in contributing to the development of the 3 villages, Stony Brook, Setauket, and Oldfield. Some of his most famous preservation projects included the Caroline Church, the Frank Melville Park and Mill, as well as West Meadow Beach. Ward Melville continually supported the fund's activities throughout his life. His most worthy cause involved the welfare of young people. It was he who donated land for a YMCA campgrounds and 478-acre donation to the State University of New York system, which is now a nationally recognized university at Stony Brook. At the age of 90, Ward Melville died on June 5, 1977, in New York. A recently uncovered interview demonstrates Melville's unique drive and vision for his hometown community. In your personal life, who influenced you the most regarding your philanthropic works?
That would have to be my mother, Jenny McConnell Melville, who was an avid fundraiser for the first women's club in America. She was a huge influence because she served to temper my father's business savvy with social concern. Because of this social concern instilled by my mother, even during financial hardships within the stream of a living Williamsburg, I always tried to find ways to finance worthy causes, particularly those involving the welfare of young people. I managed to persuade the State Board of Education to allow the Setauket and Stony Brook school districts to merge and support a $21 million program for 5 new buildings, one of which has my name on it, Ward Melville High School. I donated land for a YMCA campground, but my best masterpiece was the 478-acre donation to the State University of New York system that is now nationally recognized as Stony Brook University. So, to recap, everything has transpired is due to my mother because without her, my business venture would have strictly been business with no ambition for any social concern or philanthropic involvement.
How did you decide on Stony Brook as the town you would focus on rebuilding?
Ironically, my parents, Frank and Jenny Melville, took the wrong train all the way to North Shore of Long Island, where they discovered Stony Brook. Intending to visit the Hamptons of Long Island, they instead fell in love with Stony Brook and decided to build a summer home in Oldfield. My mother thought that the surrounding communities of Stony Brook, Setauket, and Oldfield were so similar, she dubbed it the 3 villages and advocated for civic cooperation. In the 1930s, I succeeded my father as the president of the Melville Shoe Corporation and began to formulate a plan to fulfill my mother's dreams of replacing the area's hazardous collection of rundown stores and commercial buildings with beautiful planned business communities. 1939 was a busy year for my wife and I. My wife, Dorothy Melville, co-founded the museums at Stony Brook, now known as the Long Island Museum of American Arts, History, and Carriages. On December 29, 1939, I created a not-for-profit organization that was founded and maintained to protect the historical and sensitive environmental properties that he would sustain over the coming years. I remember specifically holding a dinner at the 3 Village Inn, where my mother personally renovated right before she died, that the details planned for the reconstruction of the village. I talked with Richard Haviland Smith, who was the head design architect that included a crescent-shaped village center with connected shops grouped around a Federalist-style post office that would overlook a 2-acre village green. I believe that the view of the Stony Brook Harbor was so important it would require the raising of a commercial site known as The Block, located near the Three Village Inn. The Stony Brook Post Office, home of the mechanical eagle that resides on its pediment, has been flapping its wings on the hour, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., since 1941. The post office, a traditional hub of community activity, is the core of my original vision and project, my Living Williamsburg. Now currently named Harbor Crescent, the series of connected shops overlook the village green, site of the Ward Melville Heritage Organization's holiday tree lighting, and a premier wedding photograph location for generations of area brides and grooms. Market Square was added in 1965, and the inner court, adjacent to Harbor Crescent, was converted from storage sheds to shops in 1986. Looking east, Main Street leads into Christian Avenue, which is a roadway to the other two of the three villages, Setauket and Oldfield. Christian Avenue was home to many sea captains and other historically interesting families. There are numerous houses that are designated with plaques denoting their heritage.
How did working at your father's shoe company, Melville Corporation, shape your vision for the Stony Brook town?
I learned everything that I know from my father, Frank Melville, who was a slipper salesman cum cattle rancher who opened a series of retail shoe stores that would eventually become Thom McAn Shoes and the Melville Shoe Corporation. Today, the company has fortified its roots and expanded to CVS Pharmaceuticals, which is the parent company of CVS. Among CVS, my ventures include Thom McAn and Bob's Stores, KB Toys, Marshall's Linens and Things, Foot Action, and Wilson's. Under my father's guidance, the revamping of Stony Brook would be the design project of a lifetime that would end up becoming the first planned business community in America and the standard by which retail developments would be set throughout the nation. In the 1940s, I began to direct my attentions towards a sleepy community where I'd gone every summer throughout my years called Stony Brook. The village of Stony Brook was once a bustling shipbuilding and whale porting that had become a little more than a hodgepodge of post-colonial homes and freestanding shops abutting a shallow harbor. I wanted to create a living Williamsburg that was a hamlet with the same colonial beauty of Williamsburg, but unlike it in that it was not a museum, but a plucked center where residents could go about their daily lives. My father's business taught me what it was like to be a businessman and provided me with the monetary assets that assisted me in being able to make everything happen. This enormous project that I personally funded involves rerouting roads, leveling or relocating existing structures, moving 1 million cubic yards of dirt, and construction of the business center. With the post office as its centerpiece, the center offered relocating businessmen and shopkeepers fair treatment in both placement and rent. It was completed in 1941, and the Stony Brook Village Center has long been recognized for its architectural design and as the first planned shopping center in the country.
Your extensive philanthropic work includes the donation of land to expand Stony Brook University. What impact did you intend to have by supporting the academic community?
My focus was to help the welfare of the young people. By building a school and university, as well as funding all the money for all this to happen, I intended to create a positive influence to a learning environment where all inhabitants of the 3 villages can thrive and prosper. I hope that the Ward Melville Library of Stony Brook provides a great learning environment where students can excel and somehow place their mark onto the world like I have tried to do.
Hi, so what I like about the Melvin Library is that they have everything I need in there. I also like their hours. They're open from 7 a.m. all the way to 12 a.m., which is great because I work, so they accommodate with my schedule. Also, I like that they have software in the lab. I'm a fine arts major, so I definitely utilize their Adobe Illustrator, their Adobe Photoshop, and their Adobe InDesign features. The Melvin Library is basically like my second home. It just works great. I'm either there just studying or I'm there helping out another student. So yeah, that's just what I like about Melvin Library.
The building consists of 6 floors and a commuter lounge and is located on the academic mall of the university. There are also separate branch libraries in math, physics, and astronomy, chemistry, music, computer science, and marine science. The library also contains offices for different academic departments, as well as classrooms, computer labs, and a career center and a bookstore.